Black people are asking one question: when will white folks leave them alone? Because every time they always wanting black people to say something. They are always wanting black people to go, on the forefront, like be on the forefront while speaking to anything. Well, I understand where this comes from because black people have been so much vocal about all these atrocities that it was done to them. But black people said, you know what? We've been fighting for America for a long time. We've been hearing our voices for you guys for a long time. But at the end of the day, every time we step up for you guys and something good happens to our lives, what does happen? You come and sabotage all this good. Now, I want to take you back to like what happened in history. Perfect example is affirmative action. See, when black people went on the street for the affirmative action, including the works of people like, Malcolm X, talking about the civil rights movement, which gave birth to, affirmative action. So the Asian community came out and, they destroyed this because they never wanted black people to get education, at least equality, right? For the marginalized groups, at least considered as marginalized groups. So same case, black people say that, you know what, you people are not going to be harvesting our energy. We are not doing that with you. And what did they do? They decided that, you know what, we are withdrawing from all these things. So the withdrawal that black people did somehow affected all these other groups of people because now they're learning how black voices are so much important, why the black voices were so much vocal in everything. And some people were so much ungrateful to the extent that they were going ahead and, saying that black people complain too much, black people talk too much, black people need to find a life, like get something to do so that they can stop complaining about racism and all these things. But at the end of the day, you get the reality and understand that deep down, the black voices, the energy that black people gave all this other group of people is what was making them in the line. But black people decided that, you know what, we're withdrawing all this and they get affected. So brothers and sisters, I want to switch this video and then I'll be back. I'll be sharing my thoughts in regards to this. So let's switch the video. I'll be back.
Dear black people,
what do you want? We is watching Tubi. Leave us the hell alone. I done just told y'all that we are on break. We'll be back right around 2029. I don't know. We are on break. Leave us alone. We ain't bothering nobody. We is in this bed. We is watching Tubi. We got some good snacks. Leave us the hell alone.
Who had our back? Who been fighting with us? And every time we did fight, they made it look like we were being thugs and bullies and tearing up the place. But that wasn't us. Right. It was people added to the supposed to be the cause, So yeah, sit this one out. Let them go ahead and do what they go do. They go either tear it up. They go either they're not gonna get arrested. They probably go slap them on the wrist, tell them to go home because they not us. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, because I think everybody from that January 6th, didn't they all get party? Everybody?
Yes, they did. They got party.
So everybody got party. Okay. Yeah. So why should we come and help?
This We On Break trend, oh my goodness, chef's kiss. I love it. I love to see it. And no matter what the reasoning is, we have finally learned the trick of the enemy. And these emotional tactics are not working. So please stop calling black people, black women, black men. We on break. We not on the front line for the Democrats. Because that's what they want. Want us to be on the front line, taking all the bullets. I just really think the gaslighting has reached its limit. And black people are just like, we're not going to do it. We're not doing it. We not the footmen. We not the soldiers. Get somebody else to do it. And I love to see that. So Democrats want to rebrand with Jasmine Crockett and she's down for it. So hey, kudos to her. But sis, just keep in mind that while you're playing the game of politics, just make sure you don't get played. Because that is usually what happens.
The 92% is not marching with them.
Nope. Get somebody else to do it. Booked and busy, child. Got a manicure and pedicure booked. I got to take a nap. I got play a word search. I'm busy. 2025, the rule still applies. Yeah, I got it. Talk about March. Child, I'm marching to my bed. How about that? Getting me some good rest. 92% rest. Okay? Wish you all the best, though, child. I got it.
Don't call me baby.
Yeah, girl, hell no. We at home, we at the cookout. If you like me, we at the spa, we getting a massage. We are wherever the hell y'all were when we were going through it. Because let's not play these games like y'all were outside. We were outside with our bloodline on the main line. And y'all was somewhere else. Okay, now the shoe's on the other foot and it's not funny anymore. And everybody wants a defense. Everybody wants us to run to the rescue. This ain't our battle, baby. Let's get real. Who voted for him? Who showed up to them polls and voted for him? Now, I'm not saying what's happening is right, but who showed up and voted for him? Latinas for Trump, that's who voted for him, okay?
Good morning. So nothing fancy this morning. I just wanted to hop up here and talk about the No Kings protest. So before you start gaslighting Black Americans about why they are not going to be outside protesting with you, just know that we are standing in solidarity with you. Just know that we are there with you in spirit, but we cannot physically be out on the front lines because they will be using us as target practice. I'm sure that you're well of your privilege, and I need you to use it immediately. For the longest time, Black voices and Black bodies have been the backbone of resistance in this country, to the point where I don't even know if you know how to resist without Black bodies and Black voices. And unfortunately, it's no longer our turn, because we showed up in November in 20 Black Suburbans like Sunday service, and we feel like we did our part. So to the Latinos, the Anglo-Saxons, the Asians who don't never say shit, they don't never protest nothing, to all the communities that have silently benefited from the labor of Black resistance, it's go time. It's your turn. It's no longer our turn right now.
There seems to be some confusion in the communities amongst us. Why Black people not out here protesting with us? Because, mother, we already did that shit, and they didn't give us a thing. But what they did do is they looked out for every other race. Okay? Y'all got all the benefits from the marches that we did, Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, all the beating, all the lynching and all that shit. We marched. The Civil War was for our freedom and for us to have equal rights. And they didn't give a shit. So the next time I see a motherfucker like, why are the Black people not? You take your ass out there and get shot and shit and see what the fuck happened. You notice ain't nobody got shot or nothing like that, because they ain't this color. They this color. So get your ass out there and get to it. Do your big one. I got to learn this new line dance. They got the boots on the ground. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. What them things say? Not protesting. Like, comment, and share. I got to go. Love you, bye.
I think it's funny how everybody's true colors are coming out, especially the Black people.
So now it's funny how Black people's true colors are showing. Let's unpack that. Been the blueprint for resilience, culture, and activism. Realize that majority of the rights that you have in America are because of people who look like me. I'll keep going. She brought up Black Lives Matter, which I love this topic. Yes, we were outside fighting for our lives, not just holding signs, treating activism like a trend. It's not a viral moment, sweetie, because we live that fight every day. As for the "we were there" narrative, standing beside us is the same as standing for us, especially if you're quick to talk down on us the moment it's convenient. About fleeing to America during slavery. Mexico abolished slavery in 1829, which made it a refuge for enslaved Black people escaping the US. We didn't flee. They sought freedom. Those two are not synonymous of each other. Flipping through a history book, a Google search would have told you that. Lastly, I'll say this. Solidarity comes with conditions or backhanded comments. Keep it. Black people don't need performative allies. Damn sure don't need people who want to sit here and not take accountability for their own actions and question their own people why they voted for that jackass. We did our part. So yeah, you know I'm gonna be at? Right here, chilling. I'm in the house. I'm in the house. Good luck.
Y'all are focusing on the wrong people. Y'all are focusing on why don't Black people care what Trump is doing. We do. But we're focusing on us and ourselves to survive through this. What y'all need to be focused on instead of, well, why aren't Black people actively protesting and doing all the things that they usually do? One, because we told you we're not going to do that anymore. Okay? We told you. Y'all didn't listen. 2, because we can't help you as much as the people you need to help you. Okay? You need white people. You're focusing on black people, you need to focus on white people. You need to get their attention, their compassion, their empathy, their social and political power. You're focused on the wrong people. You're focused on the wrong demographic. Black people don't make up the vast majority of this country. We don't make up the vast majority of politicians. We are not in the White House. I'm telling you, you need to focus on white people and getting them to actively care and campaign and protest in your name, in your favor, and leave black people alone.
And a lot of people have been saying, where are the black people? I'm not seeing a lot of black people at these protests, whether it's in San Francisco, New York, DC, Boston, all across the U.S. Folks, we did our part. You understand? 92% of black women voted for Kamala Harris. 78 or 80% of black men voted for Kamala Harris last November. We did what we were supposed to do when it mattered the most. Now, all of this protesting is fine and dandy, but it's too little too late. Folks should have been having the same type of energy last year in November. Folks should have been up in arms, carrying signs and picket fences, shouting to the top of their lungs at that voting booth last November. We black people in the house having a glass of wine with our feet kicked up, watching y'all out in hell, sleet, and snow, and rain and everything else protesting. You want to know why? Because we did our part. We held up our end of the bargain, especially black women. There's nothing else to do. See you at the midterms.
And, you know, they really thought that we was going to protest. They really thought that we was going to protest. Because if we protested, right, for all the things that happened to us, all of the things that's been happening this year, them twins that got killed, that student that got lynched, all the things that have been happening to us, we stayed calm. We've been just like, nope, we're not going to do it. We know what they're doing. We're not going to do it, right? Us protesting, it's not just because we're not out in the streets. It's also because it makes white people who are also being affected by this system understand how bad it is for them. Because when we go out and protest, it lulls white people into a sense of false security that it's only happening to black people. That's why you see things like, oh, black women are the ones who are getting laid off. So it makes them feel like they're secure in their job because it's actually black women that it's happening to. It's not going to happen to me. It's happening to black women. They did the same thing during COVID. Like, you know, oh, black people are disproportionately affected by COVID. We're dying in disproportionate numbers. I don't be believing none of this stuff that they talking about. I think that they put those stories out there so that people, white people, will feel like they're secure, like they're okay. Everything's okay with me because actually it's minorities that are suffering. I'm not suffering. But when black people didn't go out there and protest, then it became, oh, hold on. Maybe I'm suffering too. Maybe if black people ain't suffering, who's suffering? Because it's getting rough out here. So if they're not going out there, then I can't dissuade myself. I can't like lull myself into a false sense of security into thinking that nothing's happening to me. That I might be the lowest on the totem pole if black people are not protesting. Somebody's got to do it. And that's exactly what happened. When black people go out and protest, white folks feel like they don't have to. They don't have to. It's not happening to them. But since black people didn't go out and protest, they was like, shit, this shit might be happening to me. It ain't happening to them, but it's happening. So who's it happening to? Yep. And that is what happened. And that's why they went all the way down to taking away food stamps. Because they know who's going to hurt the most. It's going to hurt elderly white folks the most. And poor white people, that's who's going to hurt the most. And I'll tell you why. Anytime I needed food stamps, I didn't get them. And you know why? Because I can't trust the government. I can't trust them. I cannot depend on them because they can pull out the rug from under you at any time, just like they doing right now. I knew not to trust them. So I never got food stamps, even when I needed them. I just said, whatever, we'll figure it out. And always did. Because they do exactly what they doing right now is exactly what I knew they was going to do. And a lot of black people did too. We knew we couldn't trust them. You can't trust them. The government? Are you serious?
92% of the black community have decided to stand down and to let them do all the work. We have showed them the game plan. We have told them what to do. We tried to lead them to the glorious of fresh water, and they decided not to drink it. At this point, it is not our fault if you starve. It is not our fault if you are dehydrated. If you are thirsty, drink, because we showed you how to create a pond of water within your hands. Seeing the entire country quite literally and figuratively burn down to the ground, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of makes me a little anxious because I am missing something. I am missing something incredibly important. You know what that is? I am missing a black woman who can drink hot green tea with me. That's what I'm missing. For those who don't know, I am absolutely obsessed with green and jasmine tea. It's one of my favorite drinks. No sugar, no GMOs, no added supplements, just the nature and the leaves itself. What's interesting is this. Every now and then, I will get tagged into videos from other people of color, and they will ask me and other black people, why don't you help us? Why won't you help us? Why are you abandoning us? It's the same answer of what I said 3 months ago after the presidential election. You betrayed us. We trusted you and you stabbed us in the back. Here is a phrase that I continuously say to my friends because it is critically important. Trust and love is very important. However, trust is 10 times more valuable than love ever will be. I can still love you. I can still care about you. But I do not trust you enough to where you won't stab me in the back. Trust is the complete opposite. I can despise you and you can be my enemy, but I am no fool. If I can trust you enough to where you won't stab me in the back, then that trust will be placed. It's the same way with this. To the Latinos, to the Asians, to other people of color, I do care about them. I love y'all even. But I am no fool. I know I can't trust you because that election told me everything I needed to know. That election told me that a lot of you is not on the black community side. Love itself, my love for you, is not enough for me to have faith in you. If your trust was unbound and you continuously shown to me and everyone else that you are worth to be trusted, then we wouldn't be having this conversation now, would we? But because you have shown time and time and time again that you cannot be trusted, why are you acting surprised when we take our trust back? People need to understand that black people are not hateful. We care about you guys. We do love you guys, but we can't trust you for shit. So if the entire country has to burn down for you to realize that you have placed your trust into the wrong people, then so be it. That's all I gotta say on the matter. It is Onyx, and I'm gone.
Remember a lot of y'all was saying me no black or me not black? Why are you now asking the black community to come and speak on y'all behalf as a majority? Like, why should we do that when we know that a lot of y'all ain't gonna do the same for us? And then another thing is, what can we do? You want us to march? You want us to speak up? That's it? We don't make the laws. And matter of fact, you can see how black folks voted as a majority and got the audacity to ask us to do more. Look at the way y'all voted. And now a lot of...
Back in 2013, I was helping this young lady with her master's level course. I forgot exactly what she was going for, but I was helping her with criminology. She was paying me to do her papers. She got no less than B's, and professors are smart. They can tell if you write them. I had to throw some mistakes in there. Anyway, I ran across literature and some studies that pretty much recognized, if I could just put it in a nice little nutshell, that the black man is the original archetype for what the criminal is in the United States. Think about how the black male body has been thrown around the criminal justice system for so long. And obviously, as we know, that is also followed up by the black woman. The aggressive black man is followed by the hostile or angry black woman. And historically, we have been the scapegoat for all things coming down to punitive actions. Glaring example that I know everybody can relate to, the war on drugs. So how does this relate to what we're talking about right now? Well, a couple of ways. Number one, it gives the existing government a clear conscience about enacting martial law. It's par for the course to enact with force and aggression and violence when black people do something that's out of pocket. Again, we've seen this historically, even if it was civil disobedience. Look at Jim Crow and the civil rights movement. I mean, again, seriously, look at the war on drugs and how many laws were changed and how many statutes were created. But the second and most dangerous and sinister thing that we have to look out for on both sides is that we're still not looked at as Americans. Because if you really get down to it, them waiting on us to go out to the front lines is a clear-cut sign that we are not worth the crash out. And on a very personal, deep level, as far as the community is concerned, that hurts. This nation, your rights, your children's rights, everybody involved is getting wronged right now. We love nothing more than to go out there and fight for them. But knowing that y'all don't fight for our children, our women, our men, our institutions, our culture, knowing that you don't fight like we fight for you, absolutely not. That's why this time around, it has to be white people that push the button. All right? You're going to have to fight for Americans, and Americans includes black people, Hispanic people, Asian and Pacific Islander. White people are going to have to be the ones that free themselves from whiteness. And that's just the end of the story.
So now you want black people's help. So now you think that black folks should stop what they're doing, i.e. protecting themselves, knowing that this president was going to do the things he did. Imagine that. Imagine being anti-black for months and now acting as if black people owe you to do a single thing you asked them for. Solidarity is not born of emotional extortion. It is born of individuals recognizing nuance and working together collectively, not being forced into a position, not being demanded to use their voice and body for your cause. So now that you, and I'm talking about accelerationist, yes, you cause colonizer, now that you have gotten what you wanted, what do you want from us? What thing is it that you think you can ask us for after your despicable display of anti-blackness? What do you want? Kamala Harris didn't win. Stop talking about her. Doesn't matter. You got what you asked for. There is no solidarity to be had with a person that would rather destroy civil rights legislation fought for in this country through blood, sweat, tears, and lives by black people and allies. Like literally, you all have lost the plot.
So one of my coworkers asked me, Asia, are you gonna be out there tomorrow? Talking about for the protest. I said, no ma'am, I won't. I won't, but I support, I love. And she was like, why not? And I was like, see, here's the thing. My protest has to look different because once black people show up to a protest, it becomes a riot. And it was like watching her do American math in real time. Cause she was like, well, it's not gonna be a riot. But I said, when black people are involved, it goes from a simple protest to a riot that must be stopped. She was, I could see the wheels turning and she was like, oh my God, you're right. Somebody's gotta say something. I said, yeah, we have tried. The somebody has to be someone else. And in my head, I was like, yeah, I know. So I won't be there, but I'm totally for you. Enjoy.
I made a video talking about the problems with Gen Z not being involved in the protests that happened. And in addition to that, it's especially worrying because of this trend of Gen Z being more conservative than millennials. And in response to that, I got a couple of comments along these lines referring to the fact that black women mostly didn't show up to the protests, but they did so mostly for their own safety. And the thing that I have to say about that is, first of all, I completely understand why they didn't physically show up to the protests. No, they shouldn't have to. But I want to be so absolutely clear with everyone that just because black women were not at the protests does not mean that they weren't involved. Because my friend and I are both comment on political topics like this, and we live streamed the entire protests. And I don't think that it's a coincidence that the majority of people watching and commenting on those protest videos were black women. The black women that didn't go to the protests for, mind you, safety reasons, because police tend to treat people who are protesting while you're being a person of color much differently. Black women still stayed informed, stayed engaged, and showed support and solidarity with the people who were out there protesting. So I hope that clears some things up. The issue on Gen Z not being as progressive as millennials and not showing up, I kind of view that as a separate issue. And if you are a black woman, yeah, that doesn't apply to you for not showing up. But I do think that it's still something that we should all be more aware of, that Gen Z is more conservative than millennials.
So yesterday, Bernie Sanders held a rally, a May Day rally in Philadelphia. It was a rally for workers, migrant workers, for immigrants, basically anybody who was against the administration and Trump, right? Amongst the thousands of people that were there in protest, thousands of white people, by the way. Thousands of white people, by the way, right? There were about 70 people arrested. Guess what? Majority of those people that were arrested were the few black people who were out there. Although I have personally stressed time and time again, please do not go out into the roads, don't go in the streets, do not protest, because I have a feeling you will be sought after. Although I have preached this multiple times on my platform, there's still some of us who feel passionately enough and want to go out there. And so they did.
Hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from, wherever you're watching this video from. As you know, I'm your host and presenter Generic Stories. We're going to talk about some things, and I think it's imperative that we get to look back how people are realizing that the voices of black people, it's really making an impact, and that's why they always want a piece of cake when it comes to black people. But at the end of the day, there's also something happening in the sideline. Black people are learning that these people are energy harvesters because they need the black energy. They need black people to step up so that things can happen, so that things can go on. And this is one thing that black people are now doing. They're deciding that if it's not our fight, we are not joining. If it's something that doesn't concern us, or it is something if we warned you about and you went ahead and right now it's affecting you, we are not helping you. We are not doing that too. And somehow, now that black people have withdrawn their energy, they've withdrawn their voices, because black voices, black power plays a pivotal role. If you're a person who knows history, you know how this goes down the trail. For the longest time, this has been something, I'll call it an asset. Black voices have been an asset. And that's why you always see, if we have all these people, maybe politicians that want, the black community, they want the endorsement from the black community, they'll be activists all of a sudden because they want something. But at the end of the day, as time goes by, we get to know, their intentions. So my point is, black people are learning that majority of these people are harvesting their energy. How are these people harvesting their energy? They are always wanting black people to stand in the forefront of every fight, to stand in the forefront of everything. But at the end of the day, black people don't directly benefit from this. They are the ones that directly benefit from this. So black people say that, you know what? Enough is enough. We ain't gonna be doing things that are going to benefit you. Because at the end of the day, you are using us, and then after using us, you're kicking us like an empty bottle. Yeah, that's how it happens. And somehow, this is happening. The black energy that they were harvesting, the black voices, they can no longer get it. And this goes with the same philosophy. If you want to know your importance, withdraw your availability. That's when you're going to know your value. It is the same with an African proverb. Not really an African proverb, but something logical. When we don't have groceries on the market, the few that are there, they are considered so much valuable, and their prices definitely rises. this is same case. When something is scarce, we see its value. And this goes the same way with the voices of Black people. And that's what Black people understood. And that's what Black people saw. And now they're trying, not really trying, and now they're trying to make all these folks understand that, you know what, we are the ones that were running this. We are the ones that make this become so much successful. So at the end of the day, like, they gotta have to deal with this. They gotta have to like figure this out for themselves. Black people are done figuring things for you. So it is high time you get to learn that you have to figure things on your own. And now, since Black people are withdrew their voices, they are getting to learn the importance. They are getting to learn the power. They're getting to learn something that is missing, most probably something that was so much important that they were taking for granted. And that's what? That's the Black voices. Indeed, it is now starting to make sense that that is what they have been missing. That is the part that they have been missing. The Black voices. So brothers and sisters, I really don't know where you're watching this video from, but please let me know what you think about this, right? As you know, I'm your host and presenter Agenic Stories, but until then, let me see you in my next video. Until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute.